So I watched this movie that everybody hypes just a few months after the release of Your Name, and it's of course the next best movie of all times, just like everything that is new is the best whatever of all times. This includes My Hero Academia, even when it's a watered down Naruto, and Naruto was a shit. To its credit, I do agree Silent Voice is better than Your Name, since it doesn't have time reset bullshit and amnesia nonsense, plus the main two characters spend some time being physically close to each other before the romance kicks in. Other than that, there is not much of a story going on in here, and the cast can all be described in a couple of lines. Everything plays out as predictably as you can imagine from the trailer alone. And if you're looking for pretty colors and an excuse for men that are 26 to feel what they felt deep in their deep feels, then it's a fine movie. I am of course not going to evaluate it based on how much I cried, which is what everybody else is doing these days as evidence of quality. The more he cries, the better the movie is, apparently. If I go by this logic, then A Silent Voice is terrible because I didn't cry nor felt anything else once it was over. Unless boredom can be included, which would count against it. The reason for that is simple. There was nothing relatable as far as I'm concerned, since I grew up watching giant robots and space armadas blowing shit up. The setting is for the billionth time about blunt high schools, just like 99% of every other anime that is coming out today. And it's about bullying, which is something 99% of school anime include at least once. Was it looked into better than usual? Yes, it did, since it had repercussions. Not that it was amazing as far as theme exploration goes, it's still fairly silly, just like everything that happens in such stories. I was also bullied in high school for being the weird guy who watches anime and doesn't like sports. Do you know what I did? I kicked the crap out of the bullies and they left me alone. I didn't transfer to other schools, I didn't cry about it, I didn't try to kill myself, and life went on. But then again, that was a different time and a different generation. We were all manly men doing manly things back then, and not the current oversensitive 21-year-old man children this movie was made for. What we get instead of a glorious post-apocalyptic story about cyborgs and transhumanism is a deaf girl that is cute and shy, so everybody would want to protect that smile, regardless of her not having any talents or much of a personality. Oh, and she also tries to kill herself because of first world problems in high school. This sounds really serious, doesn't it? But it's okay since the bully jumps in and grabs her mid-air, something which is extremely improbable to happen successfully. And if I have to use the word improbable, means that the whole thing is cheap, forced, and there is nothing real about it. The characters are not relatable, they're just cute and cry a lot, and you cry along with them regardless of how unbearably sappy the whole thing is. We are not even given any reason for why the bully and its victim had feelings for each other. I mean, why would you love the guy who tortures you? I still hate the bullies of my high school days even now, so I don't find this relatable at all. Unless the Stockholm Syndrome can be used as headcanon, this whole thing is therefore forced drama. And I might as well inform you that from personal experience, dealing with deaf people is exhausting. I had a friend who was gradually losing his hearing as time went on. We reached a point where I had to be yelling the same thing 3 times. It was such a bother I stopped talking to him after a while. And yet there is no such problem in this movie, so once again it's completely unrelatable as far as I'm concerned. And why it's the most terrible movie ever made? Because it didn't make me cry. Using that logic doesn't sound very creditable anymore, does it? But hey, look on the bright side. It's better than Your Name. Hell, it's better than Anthem of the Heart, which was also about a handicapped girl and lots of vomiting high school shenanigans. Well done, A Silent Voice, you're the least awful of these 3. And if you think all it takes to love the movie is to be an emotional fag, you are wrong, since there are many who hate it because it's not identical to the manga. You know the drill. Anyone who didn't read the manga has no idea what a masterpiece it really is. Not that I give a big enough damn to bother reading it, just letting you know what the manga-tards are all yelling about, and why to them A Silent Voice is terrible because it didn't make them cry.